Welcome to a journey inside the psychology of money. Most of us think managing money is about intelligence or mastering spreadsheets, but Morgan Housel argues it's much deeper. Our financial decisions are shaped by emotions, experiences, and the stories we've carried since childhood. This video isn't about investment tactics or budgeting formulas. Instead, we'll explore the invisible forces, like fear, greed, envy, and hope, that drive every choice we make with money. Understanding these forces is the key to making decisions you won't regret. Let's dive into how our minds, not just our math skills, shape our financial lives. You all know the basics. Spend less, save more, invest patiently. But why is it so hard to follow through? The answer lies in the constant tug-of-war between what we know rationally and what we feel emotionally. Our emotions often pull us in the opposite direction of what's best for us financially. This video is about closing that gap, learning to recognize when our feelings are steering us off course and finding ways to act in our own best interest, even when it's uncomfortable. Let's see how our stories and emotions shape our financial reality. No two people have lived through the same financial world. If you grew up during a market crash, you might see risk everywhere. If you came of age during a booming economy, you might be more optimistic. Neither perspective is wrong. They're both shaped by personal experience. Morgan Housel calls this the role of personal history. Our beliefs about money aren't objective truths. They're conclusions drawn from our own lives. The challenge is recognizing when your past is influencing your decisions in ways that no longer serve you. Think back to your earliest memory about money. Maybe it was watching a parent struggle with bills or seeing someone lose everything in a downturn. These moments leave a mark, often shaping how we approach saving, spending, and investing for years to come. Sometimes, we make choices not because they're right, but because they feel safe based on our past. Reflecting on these early lessons can help us understand our current habits and decide if they're still serving us. If your first adult experience with money was navigating debt or instability, you might focus too much on security and miss out on growth opportunities. This isn't always a conscious choice. It's the lens you absorbed early on. Recognizing this can help you balance caution with ambition. By seeking out people with different financial backgrounds, you can uncover blind spots in your own thinking and make more balanced decisions. Ask yourself, is this financial decision based on evidence or on a story from my past? Sometimes, what feels like a smart move is actually just a habit or fear you picked up long ago. By questioning your assumptions, you can start to make choices that fit your current reality, not just your history. This self-awareness is the first step toward financial wisdom. One of the most surprising ideas in the psychology of money is that true wealth is what you don't see. The person with the flashy car might not be as wealthy as the quiet neighbor who lives modestly and invests steadily. Being rich is about income, but being wealthy is about assets you haven't spent. Real wealth is often invisible, quietly growing in the background. We often signal status through what we buy, cars, clothes, gadgets. But every dollar spent on appearances is a dollar not building your future freedom. Morgan Housel calls this the seduction of spending. The greatest value of money isn't in what it can buy, but in the control over your time it can give you. Financial independence means having the freedom to say no to things you dislike, on your own schedule. It's easy to compare ourselves to others and feel like we never have enough. But true financial peace comes from defining what enough means for you, without referencing what others have. When you know your own definition of enough, you can avoid the endless cycle of chasing more and start enjoying the freedom you've built. Treat savings not as money left over after spending, but as the first bill you pay yourself. This simple shift in mindset can transform your financial future. By prioritizing savings, you're investing in your own freedom and security before anything else. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up to real wealth. Most people think of risk as the chance of something going wrong in a predictable way. But Morgan Housel points out that the biggest financial events are the ones nobody saw coming: a pandemic, a financial crisis, or a sudden disruption. These rare but extreme events, called tail events, shape our financial lives far more than we realize. Tail events are rare, unpredictable moments that have an outsized impact on our finances. They remind us that life and money doesn't always follow the rules. The practical lesson: build a margin for error into your plans. Keep more cash than you think you need, not because you expect disaster, but because you can't always see what's coming. An emergency fund isn't just a safety net. It's a freedom to stay calm fund. Knowing you have a buffer lets you make better decisions under stress. It's not pessimism, it's wisdom. The investor who survives a crash is often the one who had enough cash to avoid selling at the worst moment, not necessarily the smartest one. Compounding is simple in theory. Let your investments grow over time. But emotionally, it's tough. Watching your money do nothing for years, or even lose value temporarily, can trigger the urge to act. The real challenge is staying patient and letting time do the heavy lifting. Inaction over the long term is often the most powerful strategy. Getting money often requires taking risks, but keeping money requires humility and fear. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of gains, but the real test is whether you can protect what you've built. Accept that your portfolio will lose value at some point and plan your response in advance. That way, you'll be ready when the unexpected happens. When you feel the urge to act on an investment, maybe to sell during a downturn or chase a hot trend, pause and ask yourself, is this decision based on evidence or just anxiety? Taking a moment to reflect can save you from costly mistakes. Sometimes the best move is to do nothing at all. Traditional finance says we should always make perfectly rational decisions, but Morgan Housel argues that reasonable often beats rational. A perfectly optimized plan that causes you stress or anxiety is less effective than a good enough plan you can actually stick to. The best strategy is one you can follow consistently, through good times and bad. If owning your home outright makes you feel secure, even if it's not the mathematically optimal choice, that peace of mind has real value. If paying off debt faster than necessary helps you sleep at night, that's a legitimate return. Your financial plan should fit your personality, not just the numbers. A good enough plan executed for 30 years beats a perfect plan abandoned after 3. Consistency is more important than optimization. Give yourself permission to make financially imperfect choices if they help you stick with your plan and reduce stress. Longevity is the real secret to wealth. Spreadsheets can't account for shame, fear, or pride. A financial plan that ignores your emotional reality is just a fantasy. The best plan is one you can actually follow, even when markets are volatile or life gets stressful. Embrace your humanity and design a plan that works for you. Don't build your financial plan around the investor you wish you were. Build it around who you actually are. If you know you're risk-averse, don't force yourself into aggressive investments. If you value security, prioritize it. The goal is a plan you can stick with, not one that looks perfect on paper. Consistency is the secret ingredient in financial success. It's not about making the perfect move every time, but about making good decisions over and over again. Even if your plan isn't optimized, sticking with it for decades will likely lead to better results than constantly chasing the next big thing. Give yourself permission to make financially imperfect choices if they help you reduce stress and stick with your plan. Sometimes, the best decision is the one you can live with, not the one that's mathematically perfect. Financial peace is about what works for you, not what works for everyone else. The psychology of money isn't about giving you a formula, it's about holding up a mirror. Morgan Housel invites us to examine the assumptions, fears, and stories we've inherited about money. Are they actually serving the life you want to build? Honest reflection is where financial wisdom begins. In a world full of financial tips, the radical act is to slow down and ask deeper questions. What is money actually for in your life? What does enough feel like to you? Are you making decisions from fear or intention? These questions don't have universal answers, but asking them honestly is where true financial wisdom begins. The best financial decisions are rarely the most sophisticated ones. They're the ones made with self-awareness, patience, and a clear sense of what you actually value. By understanding your own motivations and triggers, you can make choices that truly support your goals and happiness. Patience is a superpower in personal finance. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of quick wins or the fear of missing out, but real wealth is built slowly, through steady habits and long-term thinking. Trust the process and give your investments time to grow. The highest dividend money pays is the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. True wealth isn't about stuff, it's about freedom. Focus on building a life you love, not just accumulating things. Financial independence isn't a number, it's a feeling of autonomy. It's the ability to make choices based on what matters to you, not just what you can afford. Define what independence means for you and let that guide your financial decisions. Understanding your own psychology helps you avoid decisions you'll regret. When you know your triggers, like envy, fear, or impatience, you can pause before acting and make choices that align with your long-term goals. Regret is often the result of acting on impulse rather than intention. Seek out people with different financial backgrounds. Their irrational choices might reveal your own blind spots. By learning from others, you can expand your perspective and make more informed decisions. Diversity of experience is a powerful teacher. Luck plays a bigger role in financial outcomes than we often admit. Sometimes, success is about being in the right place at the right time. Recognizing the role of luck can help you stay humble and avoid overconfidence. Focus on what you can control and accept that some things are out of your hands. Envy is a powerful force in personal finance. It's easy to compare yourself to others and feel like you're falling behind. But chasing someone else's definition of success can lead to poor decisions and dissatisfaction. Focus on your own goals and values instead. Hope and optimism are essential for building wealth. Believing that the future can be better motivates us to save, invest, and plan. But it's important to balance optimism with realism, acknowledge risks, but don't let fear paralyze you. A hopeful mindset helps you stay the course. Fear can be a useful warning signal, but it can also hold you back. Recognize when fear is protecting you and when it's preventing you from taking healthy risks. The goal is to make decisions from intention, not just from anxiety. Greed can drive us to take unnecessary risks or chase quick wins. It's important to recognize when ambition turns into greed and to set boundaries for yourself. Sustainable wealth is built on patience and discipline, not on chasing every opportunity. The stories we tell ourselves about money shape our reality. Whether it's a belief that you'll never have enough or that you must always be cautious, these narratives influence every decision. Challenge your stories and rewrite them if they no longer serve you. Many of the forces that drive our financial decisions are invisible: emotions, habits, and unconscious beliefs. By bringing these forces into the light, we can make more intentional choices and avoid being controlled by them. Awareness is the first step to change. Regular reflection helps you stay on track with your financial goals. Take time to review your decisions, learn from mistakes, and celebrate progress. Reflection turns experience into wisdom and helps you make better choices in the future. There's no one-size-fits-all formula for financial success. What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to find strategies that fit your values, personality, and goals. Financial wisdom is about self-knowledge and adaptability. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about trusting your process and sticking with your plan, even when progress feels slow. Over time, small, consistent actions lead to big results. Don't underestimate the power of patience in building wealth. The psychology of money is available to everyone. You don't need to be a genius or have a perfect plan. What matters is understanding yourself, making reasonable choices, and staying consistent. Financial success is less about knowledge and more about behavior. Before making any big financial moves, start with self-reflection. Ask yourself what you truly want, what you fear, and what you value. This clarity will help you make decisions that align with your goals and bring you peace of mind. Financial wisdom isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. Keep learning, reflecting, and adapting as your life changes. The more you understand your own psychology, the better equipped you'll be to make choices that support your happiness and security. In the end, your relationship with money is unique. The stories you tell, the habits you build, and the choices you make are all part of your personal journey. Embrace your story, learn from it, and use it to create the financial life you truly want. That's the real psychology of money.